Something from another star is racing through our solar system, and some scientists believe it might not be entirely natural. 3I Atlas, the third interstellar visitor ever found, has sparked mystery, scientific debate, and whispers of a NASA cover-up. July 1, 2025, NASA's Atlas telescope in Chile spots a fast-moving object, verified globally, 7 meters wide, 150,000 miles per hour, hyperbolic orbit, impossible to return. Only 3 interstellar visitors have ever crossed our skies: Oumuamua in 2017, Borisov in 2019, and now 3I Atlas. Each arrived from the void, carrying secrets from alien suns. But this one, larger, faster, and eerily aligned with our planetary plane, has ignited a debate unlike anything astronomy has seen before. Imagine a cosmic arrow slicing through the solar system, so straight, so precise, it almost looks guided. That's the 3I Atlas. Its orbit doesn't drift randomly through space. Instead, it hugs the same invisible disk our planets follow, the ecliptic plane. To astronomers, that's bizarre. The odds of this alignment happening purely by chance? Roughly 0.2%. From the moment it was plotted, scientists noticed something unsettling. Its trajectory wasn't looping, not bending into an ellipse like comets born here do. This one was on a hyperbolic escape path, a clean exit back into interstellar darkness. Once it leaves, it will never return. NASA data showed an orbital eccentricity of 6.1. The higher that number, the straighter the path. For context, most comets barely exceed 1. This thing is almost a laser beam through space, and its speed, over 150,000 miles per hour, means gravity barely touches it. It doesn't belong to our sun, it simply passes through, indifferent, ancient, and unstoppable. When scientists compared its behavior to its famous predecessors, the differences stood out. Oumuamua, the first, was a flattened shard tumbling chaotically, its brightness flickering like a piece of metallic debris. Borisov, the second, behaved like a textbook comet, spraying ice and dust. But Atlas moved cleanly, smoothly, almost deliberately. The solar plane alignment raised eyebrows. If interstellar objects wander, why did this one choose the same thin path where every major planet orbits? Was it coincidence or calculation? Astronomers debated furiously. Some insisted it was luck, a random visitor crossing our neighborhood at just the right angle. Others, including Harvard's Avi Loeb, wondered if luck was too convenient an explanation. Because in the language of space, precision often means purpose, and this object's precision was impossible to ignore. It wasn't just passing through, it was following something. And as it approached the sun, that sense of purpose only grew stronger. In every great scientific mystery, there's one voice willing to ask the question everyone else avoids. For the 3I Atlas, that voice belongs to Dr. Avi Loeb, Harvard astrophysicist and former chair of its astronomy department. Loeb isn't a fringe theorist. He's worked with NASA, authored hundreds of peer-reviewed papers, and led projects that shaped modern cosmology. But when he looked at the Atlas data, he saw something that didn't add up. His conclusion: there's a 30 to 40% chance this object isn't natural. That statement rippled through the scientific community. Loeb first pointed to orbital alignment. The 3I Atlas isn't randomly oriented. It moves almost perfectly along the solar system's flat planetary plane. If an intelligent civilization wanted to send a probe to observe a system, it would aim exactly along that plane, where the planets are, where the action is efficient, predictable, logical. Then there's the timing. Atlas reaches its closest point to the sun, perihelion, on October 29th. That's precisely when it vanishes behind the sun from Earth's view, invisible to every telescope on the planet. If you wanted to make a maneuver unseen, that's the moment you choose. Loeb brings up the Oberth effect, a real principle of physics used by spacecraft. When a craft fires its engines near a star, it gains massive acceleration for minimal fuel. So if Atlas were a probe, that sun-skimming point would be the perfect place to change course, or release something smaller. Chemical readings add to the plot. Spectrographs found strong nickel signatures, but almost no iron. an odd imbalance for a comet. And somehow, despite billions of years adrift in cosmic radiation, Atlas remains intact and unusually large to Loeb. That preservation suggests a reinforced structure, metal perhaps, or something beyond our materials. Then comes the chilling possibility he references, the dark forest hypothesis. The idea that the universe is full of silent civilizations, each hiding, fearing discovery. If Atlas were a scout, it might not be friendly. Loeb once joked, "If you're planning a vacation, take it before October 29th. He laughed, but the unease behind that smile lingered. Because what if he's right? But not everyone sees mystery. At NASA, most scientists say the evidence points to something beautifully ordinary. A comet, nothing more. Dr. Tom Statler, NASA's lead scientist for small solar system bodies, put it simply. It looks like a comet. It does commit things. Statler's calm certainty stands in sharp contrast to Loeb's speculation, because every telescope that has studied the 3I Atlas tells the same story. Hubble, the James Webb Space Telescope, the Very Large Telescope in Chile. Even amateur astronomers with high-powered optics all recorded the unmistakable signs of a comet at work. A bright coma, a glowing cloud of gas and dust, surrounds its solid nucleus, a long, streaming tail, thousands of miles wide, pointing away from the sun. Jets of carbon dioxide erupt from its surface, spraying vapor into the void. Every motion, every flicker of light behaves exactly as a natural comet should. Spectral data confirm familiar chemistry: water vapor, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide, all classic comet ingredients, no exotic alloys. No electromagnetic emissions, no radio signatures or propulsion bursts, just sunlight striking ice and dust. When Atlas passed near Mars in early October, the European Space Agency's Mars Express and ExoMars orbiters captured it in breathtaking detail, a faint, icy traveler trailing a shimmering mist. Even NASA's Perseverance rover may have caught its distant glint from the Martian surface. And soon, NASA's Europa Clipper spacecraft will actually pass through its ion tail en route to Jupiter. If there were any suspicion of alien technology, would NASA really fly a billion-dollar mission through its debris field? Probably not. Its so-called straight-line motion, the hyperbolic flight that Loeb found suspicious, also fits natural physics. A comet traveling at immense speed, ejected from another star system, would appear to move in a nearly perfect line. The higher the velocity, the flatter the curve. Statler's verdict? Coincidence, not conspiracy. Mathematical probability, not intelligent design. And yet, the debate refuses to die. Because while science may explain what it is, it can't quite silence the question of why now? Why another interstellar visitor? And why one so strange? Even the most rational minds can't help but wonder. If this is just a comet, why does it feel like something more? Silence can be louder than words. And in the case of the 3I Atlas, NASA's silence became the spark that ignited a global storm. After its discovery in July 2025, scientists and skywatchers alike waited for high-resolution images, the kind NASA usually releases within days, but weeks passed, then months. And when the first official photo finally surfaced, it wasn't from NASA, it was from the European Space Agency. That single fact set the internet ablaze. Why would NASA, the very agency that found the object, stay quiet while Europe went public? Inside scientific circles, the answer might be simple: data verification. Every frame captured by instruments like Hubble or JWST must go through meticulous calibration, removing cosmic rays, verifying trajectories, and ensuring accuracy. Bureaucracy moves more slowly than curiosity. But outside that world, silence breeds suspicion. Reddit was filled with theories. TikTok videos claimed NASA's hiding something behind the sun. X threads showed fake declassified images of metallic fragments or rotating craft silhouettes, each new rumor built on the vacuum left by official silence. Dr. Avi Loeb was among those frustrated. Transparency is how we earn trust. Every delay feeds the imagination more than the truth. Other astronomers echoed the concern, urging NASA to release at least partial data sets, raw spectral lines, brightness curves, or positional logs. But the agency maintained its schedule: review first, publish later. To the public, that sounded like stonewalling. To scientists, it was a procedure. Yet this gap between what's true and what's felt is where the story mutated. Because in today's world, information delayed becomes truth denied. And by the time NASA finally spoke, the narrative had already escaped into the wild. The moment the 3I Atlas hit social media, reality blurred Reddit threads dissected its trajectory, pixel by pixel. TikTok creators uploaded dramatic sun maneuver clips. CGI fakes viewed millions of times. YouTube analysts posted frame-by-frame breakdowns, claiming to see thrusters, pulses, or artificial signals. Each claim fed the next, echoing through algorithms that reward engagement over accuracy. Soon, phrases like NASA erasing evidence and object reacting to sunlight dominated trending pages. The more incredible the post, the faster it spreads. Psychologists call it cognitive seduction. Our minds crave mystery over mundane truth. A comet outgassing gas? Boring. An alien craft dodging detection? Unforgettable. The pattern wasn't new. It mirrored Oumuamua's 2017 viral saga, when an oddly shaped rock became an extraterrestrial probe overnight. History was repeating, pixel for pixel, but louder, faster, and far harder to contain. In a world where every phone is a broadcast studio, conspiracy thrives on speed. And once fear and fascination merge, reason can't keep up. For the 3I Atlas, science lost control of the story. The truth, whatever it is, was no longer in the stars. It was in the feed. Even if the 3I Atlas turns out to be entirely natural, its significance doesn't fade. It deepens, because this isn't just a rock from another world. It's a message from another time. Scientists estimate that the 3I Atlas is around 7 billion years old. Older than our sun, older than our solar system, perhaps older than Earth's first atoms of life. It may have formed in the swirling debris of a long-dead star, flung into an interstellar space when that system collapsed. And for billions of years, it drifted through radiation storms, dark nebulae, and the endless night, until fate aligned it with us. To planetary scientists, that makes Atlas a kind of cosmic time capsule. Every grain of dust, every molecule frozen within it, carries a record of ancient chemistry. The building blocks from a star system we'll never see by studying its spectrum, the light it reflects and emits. We can decode what elements shaped its birth. Was its home star rich in carbon, in metals? Did it resemble ours, or was it something utterly alien? Each interstellar visitor adds a missing page to the story of planetary creation. Oumuamua hinted at rocky fragments ejected from young stars. Borisov revealed pristine cometary ice, untouched since its formation. And now Atlas offers a third perspective, perhaps the bridge between the two. These aren't isolated curiosities. They're part of a growing map, proof that planet formation is universal, not unique to our sun. Even stripped of mystery, Atlas is awe-inspiring because it reminds us that we are not an isolated experiment in a cosmic void, but participants in a shared galactic history. A traveler from another sun, passing briefly through our sky, whispering of how worlds begin and how they end. Why do so many people believe there's something NASA isn't telling us? The answer lies less in telescopes and more in the human mind. Our brains are wired to see patterns, even where none exist. It's what once kept our ancestors alive, spotting shapes in the dark, finding meaning in chaos. But that same instinct now drives us to connect dots between press releases, image delays, and coincidental timing. Then comes authority distrust, a legacy of decades of secrecy, from wartime projects to classified discoveries. When institutions say, "Trust us," many hear, "We're hiding something." It's not paranoia, it's cultural memory. Sociologists describe it as the illusion of insider knowledge. The idea that believing in hidden truths gives people a sense of control in a chaotic world. If the universe feels uncertain, then imagining a secret plan or a cosmic cover-up feels safer than accepting randomness. It's also emotional mystery excites us. The thought that something out there might see us transforms fear into wonder, confusion into story. A comet doesn't trend. A message from the stars does. Science, by contrast, moves slowly. It demands proof, repetition, and patience. Qualities that rarely go viral, where belief spreads through emotion, evidence crawls through peer review. And so, conspiracy becomes the faster truth, not the truer one, but the one that feels alive. The Three-Eye Atlas became a mirror of human psychology. Our longing for connection, our fear of being deceived, and our refusal to accept an ordinary universe. In the end, it's not just a story about a comet. It's a story about us, the species that still looks up at the stars and asks, what if there's more? By late October 2025, the world was holding its breath. On October 27th, just 2 days before perihelion, Three-Eye Atlas vanished from view, swallowed by the sun's blinding glare. For astronomers, it was the most critical phase. Would it behave like a comet, or do something that no natural object should? NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory, the Parker Solar Probe, and ESA's Solar Orbiter all turned their instruments toward the sun's edge. Every sensor waited for a flicker, a flash, a shift, a signal. If Loeb's suspicions were right, this was when Atlas might make its move, a maneuver hidden by the sun itself. He even joked, "Take your holiday before October 29th." But the undertone wasn't humor, it was anticipation. For days, Earth was blind. No telescope could see, no radar could track, just silence, and the tension of not knowing what waited on the other side. Would Atlas reappear exactly where physics predicted, or somewhere new? As November dawned, the skywatch began again. Three-Eye Atlas would soon emerge from behind the sun, and every observatory on Earth was ready. NASA, ESA, and independent observatories aligned their schedules to track the reappearance moment. 3 data points mattered most: trajectory, spectral fingerprint, and brightness. Any shift in path could imply a hidden force. Any change in spectrum might reveal new chemistry or something artificial. And a sudden flare in brightness could mean an outburst or propulsion. For Loeb, this was the final test of his hypothesis. For NASA, a chance to prove the cosmos still obeys its rules. The world waited for light, the light of confirmation or contradiction. No matter what the data show, the Three-Eye Atlas has already achieved something extraordinary. It reminded humanity how astonishing the ordinary can be. Even if it's just ice and rock, this fragment has crossed billions of miles and billions of years to reach us. It was born around another sun, when our own was still a cloud of dust. Every atom inside it has survived the death of stars, the chill of interstellar night, and the gravity of countless worlds. We study it not to prove alien life, but to understand our own cosmic origins, where our elements came from, what our early solar system once was, and how life may begin elsewhere. Because truth, when seen clearly, is no less miraculous than myth. A comet that has wandered for 7 billion years to briefly cross our sky is a story of endurance, of chance, and of connection. Mystery should spark curiosity, not fear. As scientists say, stay curious, question everything, but always follow the evidence. Whether a Three-Eye Atlas is a comet or a craft, it's already transformed how we see the cosmos. Mystery drives curiosity, but evidence reveals truth. As it fades into deep space, it leaves behind a reminder. The universe is vast, ancient, and full of wonders we're only beginning to understand.